Hey, welcome to another episode of Huddle Up with Mark, the Fun Coach. I'm Mark Duncan. This is the first episode of Huddle Up of 2025. Took a little bit of time off to do some reorganizing and rethinking, and so we're back and ready to start 2025 off with a bang. And so my topic for today is going to be pretty straightforward. I am noticing as I interact with many nonprofit leaders, when we talk about relationship fundraising, we tend to overthink. And so today, I want to talk to you about that and what you can do to get beyond the paralysis that some of you may be finding yourselves in. Now, relationship fundraising looks great on paper. You know that you have a goal. Let's say your goal is $500,000. You know the gift levels that you have decided to go after. You know the number of prospects that you need. You know the number of gifts that you need at each level. And when you lay all this out, it looks absolutely fantastic. In fact, we get very excited when we see that because it makes the goal look doable. But when it comes down to actually taking action, this is where problems set in. And we tend to get into this space of overthinking. So how are we going to get in touch with this donor, right? Even though you have already figured out that this donor is yours, right? These are people that have been giving to you over the years in a transactional way. Now you're trying to transition them from being transactional givers into relational donors. And so reaching out to them, sometimes it causes you to pause. Perhaps maybe because you haven't spoken to them before, or you may know them, but you haven't had conversations with them about their giving because their giving has been transactional. They've responded to direct mail appeals. They've responded to online giving appeals. They've responded to Giving Tuesday requests. And so they're donors. But you haven't asked them directly for a gift. And that is what it's going to take to convert them from being that transactional giver into that relational donor. And so we tend to overthink. Should I call them? Should I have so-and-so call them? Should I send them an email? And then there's the what ifs that you ask yourself, right? What if they, don't want to give a big gift? What if they don't want to talk to me? And then we start to create these scenarios in our heads that aren't real. Let me repeat that. We start creating scenarios in our heads that are not real. And the reason they're not real is because you're imagining, you're creating in your head what you believe is going to transpire when you start to reach out to these donors. And understand that you are imagining this and it is not what is happening in the present. And so I'm encouraging you to stop overthinking and just do something. There is nothing that you should fear from picking up the phone and calling people who are already giving to your organization and introducing yourself to them, thanking them for their previous giving, and asking them out for coffee. That's all you need to do. You just need to get started. You're a human being, they're human beings, and I'm sure that if you call them, and I'm saying call them, not email them. Email should be secondary. Pick up the phone, call them first. If you do not get them, leave them a voice message, and then also send them an email. They may not be picking up because they don't recognize your number. We are in an age where cell phones are the primary device that is used to make and receive phone calls. And so, in that case, we have to assume that if they don't have your number in their phone, especially if you're calling from a cell phone yourself, then they're probably not going to pick up. So, leave a voicemail, then follow up with an email. The objective here is to get on a call with them so that you can schedule time to meet with them. That tone, that connectiveness that comes from a voice to voice communication is going to go much further than if you start sending emails. This is about relationships. This is about trust. And your job is to gain their trust so that they will eventually give a significant gift to your organization because they know you as a leader, they trust you as a leader, and they trust what you're doing for the people that you serve. And so building that relationship with them so that you can learn more about what they're interested in about your organization, why they've been giving, and you already know if you've done the research or if you've done wealth screening that they have capacity to give at a significant level. The recipe is there. It is there. You just have to take the steps to start the relationship. So don't overthink it. Don't worry about what they're going to say. Don't worry about what they're going to do. Don't worry about feeling salesy or icky, because much of that is coming from you and your own personal expectations or your own personal relationship with money. And I've said this many times before, that is about you, not about them. So I want to make sure that you're starting off 2025 in a space where you're stepping boldly into building these relationships that will develop into $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 gifts to your organization's bottom line. Because if you just look at your relationship fundraising plan on paper and you're looking at the names and you've got all the right number of prospects and everything is set and ready to go, and you're not ready to move forward, then you are going to be exactly where you are next year at this time. So it's one thing to talk about it. It is another thing to be about it. I hope this is helpful to you. I hope this is something that will nudge you into action and give you the confidence to move forward, because your organization is important, and it's important to the people that you serve. And your job is to secure the resources to continue to serve that population, whatever it is that you do. It's your job to make sure it keeps going, and maybe keeps going longer and better and further, and being able to help more people. That's the objective. So I hope this is helpful to you. As always, feel free to reach out to me if you would like to have a complimentary coaching session. You can do so by clicking the link below or going to my website, thefundcoach.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there is a green button. You can click that and schedule a complimentary coaching session with me. In the meantime, always remember, this fundraising thing, it is not just about the dollars. It's about what the dollars do for the people that you serve. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.